Welcome back to Tennessee Valley this morning on WTMB. Again, Joe and Kim Palo with you on this middle of the week Wednesday. We are now joined by Karen Mills, who is a Bradley County native.
I am.
And now resides in Chattanooga.
Yes.
And we're going to talk to Karen about some of the things
she's done good.
she's doing.
She's a local girl that done good.
She did. And of course, now what we want to tell you, we told you I think earlier, first of all, Karen has a resume where she's worked with Jon Stewart. A lot of you folks know Jon Stewart from Comedy Central. Wrote from the Rosie O'Donnell Show, toured and tours with the Southern Fried Chicks. But what we're telling her is this today on this show is the biggest venue that she's been in. This is bigger. Because I tell everybody we're on all over the world. We are seen in Czechoslovakia. I think there's a Czechoslovakian person that watches us maybe. But yeah, so this is a big venue. But Karen, of course, is a comedian. I want to ask you this, Karen. Before we went on, we talked about it. Is the PC thing now still? Females were comedian and males were comedians. But now it's just comedian. Okay. See, Kim thought it was
that way before, or was it just tomato?
No, during the Carol Burnett days, it was comedian.
Comedian.
But now everyone's just comedian.
Dadgummit, I keep being wrong. I was wrong Friday.
I'm telling you, you gotta listen to me more. You gotta listen to me more.
This is killing me. I need to go to bed.
I posted that on Facebook. You didn't see it?
No, because I don't know how to get there.
But Karen, of course, as we said, Bradley County native. We're going to talk about what she's doing now. But some of you may remember Karen back in the, and I won't date her because we're about the same age.
It's okay.
But back in 1976,
51.
Karen hit the winning shot of the state basketball champion Bradley Central Bearettes with the late great coach Jim Smitty.
Yes.
And what did Ron call the shot? It's called the Hoot Nanny.
That's what he called it.
Yeah, he said it was written down as the Hoot Nanny shot. But Karen, of course, made the winning shot to win the state. Went on to play for UTC. Was inducted into the UTC basketball, first female inducted into the UTC Basketball Hall of Fame. And a question I wanted to ask before we start here. I know you're now a comedian. You tour. You work on different shows. Back in the day, because we were brought up about in the same time, but back in that day, if the WNBA would have been happening, would you have possibly had a different career thought after playing at UTC with the idea of maybe if there was women's professional basketball?
Well, actually, my senior year in college, they had the WBL, the Women's Basketball League.
Okay.
It only lasted 1 year because it didn't have the support of the NBA like it does now.
Right.
But I was actually drafted to play for Dallas, and 2 weeks before I was supposed to report to camp, the league folded because they just didn't have the support. So, yeah, and then I had opportunities to go overseas to play, but I just didn't go that route. So here I am.
But you are, and now a very successful, nationally known comedian that has performed, as we said, with the Southern Fried Chicks, is on tour now. Tell us about what you're doing now and how life has been since 76 State Championship.
She's getting ready to have a new program that's she's going to be on the Henry Cho.
Henry Cho Comedy Show
right.
on GAC. It premieres September 8th. And, when I started comedy in Atlanta 19 years ago, the first comedian that I opened for was Henry Cho.
Oh, wow.
And then I didn't work with him again until about a year and a half ago. And when we reconnected, he then started calling me to do various projects with him, different corporate events and fundraisers and referring work that he couldn't do. And so then when he got this opportunity with the pilot, he called me, and so I'm just thrilled for the chance to.
I bet so. Now this is tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, it's going to be. I think it's 184 on Charter Cable. And it is the Henry Cho Show, and Karen is going to be there in all of her glory. Yay. And so we're excited. We'll all have our TVs turned in tomorrow night to watch and see how great it's going to be. I'm very excited for you. I know you're excited as well. Yeah,
and then it also airs 3 times on the 9th, and then again on the 10th, and then there's 4 or 5 more times throughout the month of September. But if you go to gactv.com, you can get all the air times.
Right.
Sure.
And I do want to mention that Ron Moore, when he was leaving, mentioned that last shot, and talking about the the shot that George Starr, the picture that George
Yes,
Starr took.
yes, yes.
And it had the clock in the background showing 1 second left on the clock, and the ball had just left my hand because there was a lot of controversy over whether or not it. So he mentioned that, and he said, you know, George Starr had a giant picture of that in his office. Did you ever see that? I said, that's in my mom and dad's living room. What do you mean?
Have you ever seen that? I have that over my head. I have that everywhere.
That is the wallpaper at my parents' house.
Absolutely. Did I ever see that?
Well, you know that, of course, you know, back in those days, there was no better girls basketball program than the Bradley Central. Coach Smitty's gone down as the winningest coach ever, I think.
Ever, at any level. And we had the longest winning streak, a 92-game winning streak, back-to-back state and national champions.
And you're a little thing.
Well, and everywhere I go, that's the first thing people say.
I wasn't going to say it.
Be taller?
I thought you would be taller.
When she came in, I was like, she didn't play basketball.
Nah, that's what everyone says, and I'm like, someone had to pass it to the tall girl.
That's exactly
had
right.
to be really fast.
Somebody who had to be the point guard.
That's right.
And you know, when my mom tells me the story that when she had me at the doctor when I was a young girl, that the doctor said, well, of course she's going to be tall. Look at her feet. And I've worn a size 9 since I was in like the 5th grade.
Get out.
Yeah, and it's like, well, she's either going to be tall or a clown. So we know how that turned out.
Well, you played basketball, but you were funny when you did it.
And I also picked up on the fact that now you're a Dolphin.
A huge Miami Dolphin fan.
Oh, a Miami Dolphin fan. Okay,
Yes.
I thought you're Dolphins in.
Well, you know, you want to know something now. This is, you know, how great minds think alike. I was thinking, people watching, Karen, they're probably thinking they're talking about like dolphins, like swimming dolphins.
Right. I wasn't sure because
and I'm a fan of dolphins.
Yeah, I think
about the I was actually down in Miami not long ago, and I swam with the dolphins. That's why I thought. And
okay.
well, actually, it was only one dolphin, and that was a former.
Was it Dan Marino?
It was a former dolphin, but it was life changing. You know?
But that's fun. I mean, I've seen that, and that's really a fun thing I see to do because they really respond to you, don't they?
Yes.
I mean, much more than a Miami Dolphin.
Well,
they come up and
the
go,
the dolphin is supposedly the smartest mammal other than man. Right underneath us is a dolphin.
And I think there's a lot of us that are probably beneath them.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Sitting right here is probably one, and she's pointing over here. But
any orangutan can do.
That's
what
exactly
I do,
right. That's exactly
Tell
right.
me that one time.
No, that was just all in fun.
Yeah,
I kid because I love.
I know, honey.
But Karen, now tell us, you got the Henry Cho show coming on tomorrow, but what's the next thing for Karen Mills after this?
Can we see you live anywhere?
Yes.
Are you going to be anywhere in the area that we can
if
come?
you'll pay attention to your Facebook, I'll let you know.
Well, I have to have you as a friend first.
So you have to friend me first.
But I don't know how to do that.
Actually, the next thing's coming up are corporate events. I'm going to be in Dallas for the American Business Women's Association conference. So I'll be performing for that. I do a lot of corporate work. Then I have Southern Fried Chick shows coming up, Hopkinsville, Kentucky in October.
I have a friend in October.
Wow, I can't remember my schedule just right off the bat, but you can go to KarenMills.com and see where I'm going to be, and I do post it when next time I'm at the Comedy Catch, I'll have that posted.
Absolutely.
So you friend me.
Yes,
and
I
then
will friend you, and we will know to come to the Comedy Catch
We would
because we'd love
to
see you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well,
I am so proud of her. When she said yes, I was like, Joe, she said yes, she said yes, she said yes. And so we were really proud to have Karen. It was in the paper about her having the local program on Charter. And so that's going to be all in this area because we cover that area. We go all up into the area. Now, are you in the Chattanooga market as well? They go a little bit further down on Charter there. They're not so much in there.
Well, we're on Comcast. And EPB.
Yes.
Both
Great.
have it.
Great.
So it's national. I mean, it'll be on every GAC station, and just you have to check. Look, I know DirecTV. It's 326. So I don't know all the channels, but if you check where GAC TV is, 90% of your packages will have GAC.
Well, let me ask you this. So the pilot show's tomorrow night. Now, how does that work? When will they know if it's picked up and that it's going to be? Is it just one show that's done, or do they do a series and hope that that's all picked up?
No, right now just the pilot's been shot,
okay,
and that will air numerous times through the month, and then depending on ratings, so watch,
right?
You know, whether or not it gets picked up as a series. So even if you have other plans, leave your TV on GAC.
Exactly. DVR.
That's right.
Set your DVR.
Yeah.
Just get the channel on it so that we get the ratings and I have a shot to get the
Now,
series.
is it a sitcom? Is it a variety show?
No, it's a variety show. Yeah, it's more.
Okay.
It's a comedy variety show. There's stand up, there's sketch, there's country music stars that are on it. So it's really a fun show. I was really pleased to be a part of it because we taped it live, and when it was over, I thought, man, that was really good. So you know, sometimes you do things and you hope they turn out, and I was just really proud of it.
That's great. That's great, and I'm sure it'll be a success because Henry, I have seen he is funny.
He is very funny,
and I know that from your background, obviously, and just sitting here with you right now, I know you're hysterical yourself. So I know it's going to be a great show. It's hysterical to just sit here with Karen.
He's a sidekick.
Yeah, I just know from sitting here talking to her, just a few minutes that we've been sitting here talking, you kind of get a good feeling about it. But again, we're talking tomorrow night, 8 o'clock on channel 184, which is on Charter Cable, Comcast, and maybe a different channel. It's GAC.
It's the network.
Is
so
the
if
network.
You've got Direct or the Dish.
Yes,
You need to search out
and
GAC.
Henry Cho Comedy Show, which will air tomorrow night and then several other times throughout the month.
Correct.
So that is terrific. That is terrific. We so appreciate you being here with us today.
I appreciate you having me. You know, I'm on my New York, Las Vegas, Cleveland tour. And so
there you go. That's right.
And we are, you know, and we're the biggest.
And again, we're the top of the list.
That's right.
Cleveland, Tennessee.
And
that's
most
right.
accommodations, the green room, right?
Right. Everything revolves around us here.
It doesn't matter where else I go. Cleveland is always the home base. So.
And it's so funny that this area, and I'm sure from back when you were here playing ball and whatever, the changes that have happened from Bradley County from that day to this, with everything that's happened. I mean, this area has grown unbelievably.
Huge.
It is. It's just tremendous.
And Karen, no matter how well the show does, and no matter what prosperity you have and success, you will always be remembered.
First.
The Hootenanny shot.
The last shot and that famous picture of George Starr with 1 second that's there. And so Bradley County thanks you.
Right.
Well, and I couldn't be more proud to be remembered for that. I just say, even though that's probably the only shot I made the whole game, I'll still take it.
I heard you were a pretty good ball player, so I think that I heard you were a very good ball player. And the whole thing about that is that this area thrives on sports. So that's perfect. And for Ron and myself, it was like, hey, we were so excited about that part of your life, what you did at Bradley, you know.
Yeah. You know, sometimes I do some more motivational speaking as opposed to just stand-up comedy. And one thing I always point out, you know, I wasn't the shooter. My job was to get the ball to Data. You know, she was 6'2" back then. That was tall.
Right.
Yes.
Data Caldwell. Now it's a guard, but still. And then Tracy Dixon Walker. She's a great shooter. So my job was to get them the ball, and I rarely shot. I was the ball handler. And then it just turned out in that game that Data was double teamed, threw it back to me, and I hit the shot. But every day, Coach Smitty would make me stay after practice. And we practiced all the time, so staying after practice.
Right. Oh, I can imagine.
And make 250 shots a day. And I was always like, I don't even shoot. Why am I having to stay after? You know,
we're about to go off the air at 7:30. Thank you.
Yeah.
I know. I just saw the clock and I was like, holy cow.
Yeah, but that clock's a little fast. But we do want to say we're all pretty much out of time, right, Jennifer? We will see you guys. Karen, thank you so much for being with us.
So much.
Remember,
Thanks
Henry Cho
me.
Show tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, GAC Network. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. Have yourself a good day. For Joe and Kim Palo, goodbye.